Hi, Pat the podcast editor here. Who's ready to look back at a bit of cringy marketing? Today, Dan and Lloyd are talking about some of the marketing missteps they've taken on the road to success working with global household name brands.
Oh, should we be talking about rubbish marketing things we've done? Is that weird for a business that is saying they're good at marketing to do?
From automated messages to the evolution of cold calling, we'll uncover some of the less dignified strategies that, for better or for worse, played a role in the development of the business. Maybe you've even tried some of these yourself.
I think at the time it worked very well. But then, once we'd used it too much, then it became annoying for people and we realised it wasn't working. And I don't believe that anyone should have regrets about their marketing approaches, because ultimately we're all just trying to figure this out and trying to test different things.
Oh, while you're here, if at any point you're enjoying the show and you want to give a little something back, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Something as quick as just telling a friend or even just subscribing goes a long way towards helping this podcast reach more people. Right, let's strap in. This is episode 61 of the Business Anchors podcast.
We're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long. This jingle is slightly too long.
What marketing strategies have we used in the past that you're now embarrassed about, and why?
Lots, actually. I think historically we've used a whole range of different marketing approaches. I think marketing is all about trying and testing different strategies. Some of them flop, some of them you look back on and think, oh, that was a bit silly. But I think it's going to be fun for us to talk about some of them because it might make people think what they're doing.
That's a good point, actually, because to be completely honest with the anchors listening, I was thinking, oh, should we be talking about rubbish marketing things we've done? Is that weird for a business that is saying they're good at marketing to do? But you're right, actually, to have success in marketing, you test a load of things and it's part of the process that some things don't get results, some do, some get great results, some get average results.
I think in true Knowlton style, we want to be authentic and transparent. So can I start? There's a few that I want to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead.
So firstly, I think when we started out, I remember absolutely loving tools. And tools are great, like apps and tools that help you do certain things with social media.
You are a tool.
Thanks. Mm-hmm. And I was really into being efficient and saving time, which is important in business.
Yeah, sounds good so far.
So what I did was I found lots of tools that would automate everything we ever did. And basically, so for the nerds out there who have heard of a tool called IFTT, If This Then That, it's a tool that connects different apps. And when one action happens on one app, it triggers an action on another app.
Can you give an example?
I'll give you an example. So when you could connect it to your weather app so that when the weather is it says it's going to rain tomorrow, you automatically get a text saying, take your umbrella to work.
Okay, cool. So then in your marketing, you know that you need an umbrella.
No, so a more relevant example for how we did it. Mm-hmm. Whenever certain publications, like social media publications, which is a website that writes useful social media articles, whenever they post an article, I had it set up so that I'd tweet that article instantly.
Right.
So, and it would basically draw in the title of the article and the link to a tweet with certain hashtags and then tweet it. And I did this for various publications that produce lots of really great articles. So every 2 minutes, I was tweeting.
Well, you weren't
I wasn't tweeting, but the tools were tweeting for me.
Yeah.
And at the time, it actually helped me grow my Twitter following. It helped build awareness. But eventually, I think everyone on Twitter hated me because I was just constantly...
That is really interesting, you saying, like, initially it was good, but eventually it was a negative thing. Because we are very much, in general, against automation in marketing here at Knowlton. I understand other people, the other end of the spectrum, and think it's great. And that's exactly an example of why I think it's negative and why we steer clear of automation in marketing. It's that actually, in the short term, it can be really good and get you some quick wins and get you noticed and all this sort of thing. But because automation in marketing, from what I've seen, is always a way to trick other people into thinking a human is doing something. In the short term, you've tricked someone. That can be extremely positive and it can get you some kind of result that you're looking for. In the long term, if you think about relationships in normal life and everything, in the long term, if you're over a period of time tricking people into thinking something's happening, those relationships aren't going to last, because once people realize you're trying to trick them into thinking something different, they're not going to like you anymore.
Yeah.
And I know there are big fans of automation in marketing, but that's a key thing that I think for long term is really, really negative.
I think I don't want us to kind of shit on all automation, because I think I think there's automation out there that is good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the kind of automation that is very useful, and I believe is a good type of automation to use, is something where you're not pretending to be doing something that's not you.
Yeah.
Like things in the back end of, like, within HubSpot, you can automate tasks so that when one thing happens, it moves someone along the kind of sales funnel. That's not pretending to be someone to someone else, but it's very useful because it saves you time.
I think that's automation making a human or a group of humans more efficient. And that's where I think the line is. So automation, you could say that reminders on your phone are automation. So something goes off and tells me to do something. But I think it's that thing. You're not trying to trick anyone into thinking that a human's done something.
Yeah.
It's something to make humans more efficient at actually doing the stuff.
Yeah. So that was something we used to do a lot of. And I remember a cut-off point where we just stopped doing all of that and then started to produce content and actually tweet it and actually share it on social platforms, And
it's hard. I was just thinking... Oh, actually, first, I'll ask you the question. Do you regret us using those kind of techniques in the past?
I think at the time it worked very well. But then, once we'd used it too much, then it became annoying for people and we realized it wasn't working. And I don't believe that anyone should have regrets about their marketing approaches, because ultimately we're all just trying to figure this out and trying to test different things. Mm-hmm. I think what you don't want to be doing is trying to do anything like unethical. And this came onto my second point of another thing that we tested: automated LinkedIn messages, a series of automated drip-fed LinkedIn messages. Yeah. I've tried this in the past, and I definitely wouldn't recommend it. I think, and that was pretending to be,
I just don't get it. I don't. It really frustrates. That stuff really. I know listeners probably think I'm weird, but doing things, and I think it annoys me more with the LinkedIn automatic messages because they're written in such a way to try and make them appear like a human.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, love your profile.
Hey, you must have missed this message. That's fine. I know you're busy, and I just for long-term success with anything, that just makes me think. They're probably not, but that makes me think you're a dickhead. You're trying to trick me into thinking you've written this. And I think a lot of the people doing it aren't dickheads. They're probably really nice people, and they've got a family they go home to, and they're lovely parents and lovely. But that, I don't know. I don't see how long term that can be effective for anyone.
Again, I think it's a thin line between trying to utilize tools to make you efficient versus those tools actually being effective and lying to people and pretending to do something, I think it's a thin line.
I think it's the evolution of cold calls. It's like calling people up as if you want to have a chat with them, when in reality you've been automatically dialed and you're the 465th person someone's spoken to, but you're trying to act like, oh, hey, Mrs. Jones, just wanted to give you a call.
It's actually as bad as the cold calls where they've got an automated person pretending to talk to you, not even a human. Hey, Sandra.
Hello. Oh, I just wanted to talk to you about this. Oh, right. I'll just put you through to my advisor.
Yeah.
That thing.
I genuinely...
I get so annoyed when it gets me. Yeah. You go, hi. And I go, hello. And then there's that pause that's slightly too long. You think, you sweat. You got me.
I genuinely feel sorry for elderly people who are more easy to manipulate.
That have an hour-long conversation with that machine. Well, sorry.
And a lovely chat with
Susan,
someone.
there's a lady on the phone. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they'd catch on, even if it was a terrible timing and stuff.
No.
You could have like an hour-long recording, couldn't
I'm
you?
sure Arnand's had a good conversation with some of those in the past.
So that was another one. One more.
I guess there's going to be people listening to this that are using or have used these tactics, and obviously, sorry guys, because I've been quite negative. But I'm sure people that do it are doing it for the right reasons and trying to find success. And I'm thinking, I suppose, what would be their comeback to me saying that it's a terrible thing to do? Why are you doing it?
I mean, like, there's definitely people using all these strategies and it's working for them. So if your only metric is that it works, then potentially it could work for you. But then
do you measure?
It's like how effective it works. It's just like cold calling 1,000 people. Oh, you get 10 sales. That works. Whereas it pisses 990 people.
If you grow your business, there's only there's a finite amount of those messages you can send out. So you're alienating 99.9% of your potential customers. So I think in the long term, I still see it as a negative. But I know there must be situations where it's positive in the long term, I guess. But I think it's very short-term thinking.
And I think, like anything, don't listen to everything we're saying and take it on board, because take everything we're saying with a pinch of salt, because we're only talking based on our experiences and what we now believe isn't an effective approach you should be using. But some people will disagree with us.
Playing devil's advocate with myself as well, I suppose people may use it as a path. Like, before you work out long-term strategies and how your business is going to get leads in the next 10 years, you might have a year and a half, 2 years of doing this and it being successful in the short term as a route to having enough customers or enough sales to find things that work in the long term. So just trying to argue with myself so that people don't hate me and so I can have some empathy towards that point of view. But
well done.
Still don't like it.
Something else I still really cringe about is some of the designs of the imagery that I post on social media and stuff.
Yeah,
it's really.
Do you know what?
Really terrible.
Do you know what I really liked about a lot of the designs that you did in the early days? There was a picture of you with puffed up hair and
puffed up hair.
But by the way, I'm using that term as in poof, like a hair's not in a horrible way.
Yeah.
And digging myself into a weird hole there, and like a beigey suit, and he was just smiling, and he used to just put that head and shoulders in basically any imagery of anything.
In the
so
corner
it's like a blog header. It'd just be like 3 ways to automate all of your social media and get 6 figures of something quick, and then it'd just be you in the corner, head and shoulders, looking smart.
But again, it's that funny thing. At the time, for the types of clients we were attracting, low value, not paying us a huge amount, they loved it.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, the kind of clients
some of the brands and clients we work with now wouldn't have seen that as good enough quality stuff we'd put out. But yeah, I think, but it's that thing of starting a business. It's hard when you're starting a business. You've got to be graphic designer, website developer, salesperson, doer of all your work you ever do. You got to have lots of hats. So
HR.
It's understandable. I think thankfully there are tools with design now, like Canva, that is useful for people starting out. And there's
Design Cloud.
It's a really good service where you can pay about £500 a month and have unlimited graphic design outsourced, which is really good. Look that up.
What other do you have any examples of stuff we've done? Can you think of anything that you look back on and think, oh?
I suppose the strategy, I mean, we've spoken about it quite a lot, of those networking breakfast meetings. That was a huge part of our marketing in the early days. That makes me cringe a bit, because I was just thinking all the time and all the calories consumed and all of the useless conversations where we're all just trying to sell to each other around the room. And
but act like you're not selling to each other.
No one wanted to buy anything. But everyone's pretending to be interested in all the other.
Really? That's interesting.
Have you heard of my thing you should buy?
What about my thing?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's looking, and I won't talk about it in detail. We've spoken about that a lot before, and it is effective for a lot of businesses, but certainly not for us and how we were doing it. Also, I guess some of the tactics we used, even for clients in the early days on Facebook, of the kind of engagement baiting, which now you can't do because they don't let you basically, and they suppress. But the kind of, but again, like it was actually doing the job it needed to at the time, where it was like, because at the time on Facebook, they just brought out the different reactions as well as the like button.
Yeah.
So then you do like polls and images of like,
we had some really effective
react with these different things.
Which is your favourite car?
Yeah.
And then like one reaction there, one reaction there.
And then because it got loads of engagement, Facebook would put it out to loads more people, and it just got amazing reach and engagement very quickly. So that worked great. I guess I feel so cringy about these, but the thing is, it's okay to look back and cringe at these type of things as long as you're moving with the times and adapting and having new strategies. If we did these same things now, we would be terrible at marketing and terrible at sales and so I guess it's okay to look back at things like that.
Yeah, no, I think it is.
Yeah.
I remember something really bad I did. I remember setting up this, we used to use the strategy where we wrote an article with like the top 100 influencers in a certain niche, and it helped get a lot of traffic to our website and stuff. I tried making it more efficient by sending automated DMs to a list of people who were on the list, but I basically put a space between the name tag. It was supposed to draw in their name, their Twitter first name, but I didn't do the kind of tag correctly, so it just said, "Hey, bracket name bracket." and then like when it's obvious you've kind of tried to sneakily.
So everyone except Mr. Bracket name bracket. It was terrible for. Oh no,
that was something cringe. And also, I don't know if you remember on our website, we used to have loads of pop-ups.
Oh yeah.
I remember I discovered this really cool tool. We do actually use it in a much smaller capacity now called OptiMonster. But at the time, it had all these cool features. And then when anyone moved to a certain place on the website, this thing would come up in their face like, download this thing that can help you.
Yeah. Obviously, Dan's head and shoulders with his big hair. Download this thing.
Make £1 million in 3 seconds.
I remember, our website speed. Our website loaded in about
20 seconds.
12 minutes because Dan had put all these pop-ups everywhere possible. It was so slow.
I know, but it was the classic. I remember getting messages from numerous people saying how annoying they were, and I was like, "Oh, they're really annoying."
It's that thing, isn't it? As well, it's like those things that disrupt you from as a customer from what you're trying to do. Again, they might get some results in the short term, but over a long period of time, they're just annoying for everyone involved.
But it helped us build our email list a bit.
Yes,
so
as we said, in the short term, these things can be a good route to doing things better. So, can't judge people.
There is another moving on to things that we maybe didn't do, but things that annoy me now. The classic getting an email saying, "Can I write a guest blog for you?" People are still using that strategy to try and get links on your website, and it's all automated. And
I guess I'm thinking, so we get loads of those now, like we get loads of LinkedIn DMs every day and all this stuff. Is it something that I suppose over time they'll get more people ignoring them and they'll just fade away, and then the new things will come in, or is that just always going to be a thing?
Well, if you just look historically at other channels like that, cold calling, surely that's been not that effective for years, but it's still happening.
I suppose
but
to
it's because some people
extent,
will
maybe
convert, but the conversion rate must be like 0.0 something.
If anyone's listening to this and has used automation heavily and got tangible results you can show us, please let us know, because I'd be obviously what I don't understand. I don't see how it would work long term and get good results, but there must be people that it's worked for. So I'd love to see or hear how that works and what you've...
There's that guy who's actually wicked, the world's most hated sales trainer, Benjamin something.
Yeah.
And he basically does these live cold calling videos and shows you how he does it. He uses a very unique approach and it's proven that it's highly effective, but you have to be a real type of person to do it. Like we've spoken about before, he what does he do? He calls up like the receptionist.
Just goes, can you get Dave on the phone? And she's like, what? I'm just boarding a plane to JFK. Is Dave there? Is Dave there? And then
like,
basically
they're so like disorientated,
and then they're like, "Oh, I'll just put you through."
But again, like, is that the first kind of like point of contact you want?
I see that more as like a kind of entertaining quirk of like, oh, that's good, that guy's found a way to do it, but it's not scalable to a group of people. Like, people have to have specific skills to be able to.
Well,
do
he
that.
trains people to do it, but I think
but he's still the only person I've ever seen do it well. So does he train people effectively to do it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Can it be trained? But yeah, I with the like LinkedIn automation, DMs and stuff like that, I'm sure there's people listening that use it. So yeah, I'd really like to hear, or maybe you've tried it or are trying it and you've realized, it doesn't work. I'd be interested to hear that as well. But
I also think one more thing that really gets to me is, and you've had it before as well, when it can be on various communication channels. Usually it's a phone call, but when someone acts like they want to become a customer of yours, and then really it's a sales pitch for their thing.
We have the same
collaborate with me.
We have the same marketing event every year that calls us multiple times and says, we're looking for speakers.
Yeah, this is their approach. Yeah.
And then now, obviously, I go, oh, yeah, it's you again. Remember, you talk to me every year. Oh, no, it's a new person. All right, never the same member. They've always left. And it's like, oh, just straight away, are you actually looking for speakers, or to speak? Do you have to pay you to be at the event?
You have to pay £3,000 for.
We might look at speakers, but mostly you have to pay $4,000 for a stand at the event, and then you can speak to an empty room. Okay, right, I see. Yeah. Again, it's that thing of tricking people. Anything where you're trying to trick people, I don't see as a long-term successful thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's only a finite amount. Again, they've called us, and every year we go, remember, you tried to trick us last year.
There's a recent one that we've been getting whilst Edith's been away. They've been trying to get hold of her, and they said they've rung a number of times saying, we manage your energy. I want to talk to you about something. And I'm sort of like, was this a sales call? Like, no. We just want to speak to Ida about the energy that we were speaking about. And I was sort of like, why would anyone want to speak to Ida about the energy? And then they rung up numerous times, and I was like, she's not here. Eventually, I kind of said, can you just tell me what the thing is you want to tell her about the energy? Like, I'm the co-founder of the business. Can you just tell me? And they were like, well, basically, nothing to worry about, but there's a new thing that we're offering. And I was like, this is a sales call. There's no thing to tell Ida about the energy. It's you trying to sell something additional.
No, it's not sales. I just need to tell Ida about the thing I'm selling. Yeah.
And it's also that the way you make someone feel as that first point of contact. Even if that's effective, I think you're, not a nice person trying to...
I also think, from people I've spoken to, those businesses really struggle with those people that have to do those repetitive sales calls are trying to trick people.
Yeah.
The turnover of staff so quick because it's just soul destroying.
Yeah.
The whole day lying to people. No, it's not sales call. No, I've just got 3 questions I need to quickly ask about energy. Oh, really? And are they going to lead, the answer to the question are going to lead you to saying, actually, we've got something that might be good for you.
I love it whenever anyone says about collaboration. That's the one where they try and trick you. We're looking to partner with people.
Yeah.
To collaborate, we'll give you business, and something else could happen. You give us business.
Yeah,
it's like
partner up. You pay us,
and we give you a service.
We provide you a service.
That's not a partnership.
You don't want.
That's just us being a customer of yours.
Yeah. So, moral of is there any other examples you want to talk about?
No, I think that's about it.
Because I think moral of the story is if you're tricking people into trying to buy from you, it might work for a bit, but probably won't be a good way to do stuff in the long term.
Yeah.
And also, something else to note, if you have success with these things, please talk to us. Because I want to do another episode where we can say, this stuff we said is rubbish. Yeah. Here are some businesses. This guy did this. This woman did this.
No one's going to do that.
Well, I'm open. I've got an open mind, Dan.
Okay.
I mean, I started this episode with a very closed mind, saying it's all rubbish. But now I'm being open-minded.
Cool. How are they going to get in touch with us?
You can DM us.
They can fax us.
They can.
We've got a printer with a fax. Has it got a faxing on it now?
I don't know. I don't know if they do that anymore. Yeah, fax us. Send us a stamped addressed envelope. They used to do that on Blue Peter, didn't they?
Did
Something
they?
like that. Yeah, don't really know what it means.
P.O. Box something.
Yeah. But yeah, please do message us or comment on this video or a video you've seen. Or don't. Either way.
We'll still be back next week, won't we?
Yeah, we will. We will. And it'll be good whether we have your contribution or not. So, either way is fine.
See you next week.
Bye.